about to do a tour.
What? Are you good?
Okay, wait. What? After rewatching the video of what happened with Skylar, we decided to take some screenshots. This is Tyrlin just moments before Skylar came up the stairs. And if you look down in the corner between the banister rails, there's a shadowy figure. This is a close-up and zoom in on it so we could get a little better detail. Hi guys!
Hey, what's happening?
Hey, everybody!
Hi!
How y'all doing?
This, and you can watch it on John and May's channel, John Haggerty Vlogs. I'll leave the link in the description box down below. When will it be on, John?
Friday.
Friday.
All right, so you guys can watch it Friday. Check it out there, guys, and don't forget to like and subscribe to their channel.
Hello, gorgeous.
Hi, how are you?
Good. How's everything going?
Good. I'm tired.
Me too.
Very-
Me 3.
3.5 hours of sleep. We went to Malvern Manor last night, so.
How creepy was that?
Looked pretty creepy.
So I went in very skeptical. Like, I write paranormal, and I believe in it, but ghosts don't like me. They stay away from me.
They're like, you know too much.
Yeah.
I can't trick you.
That's what it is. They can't scare you.
The kids, I'm like, 'cause we live in an old hospital, a doctor's office, and they're like, is it haunted, Mom? And I'm like, I'm too mean for a ghost to stay. You know that?
That's funny.
So it was very cool, though. It changed. It didn't change my perception of things per se, but I definitely experienced things there that I didn't expect to experience.
Well, that's good. Even
So-
though they didn't do too much because you know too much. But
So you caught some of it, right?
What's that?
On your camera, you caught some of it.
Yeah, well, I'm hoping so. I'm still going through the footage. There was a lot of film, so
Gotcha.
yeah.
I'm piecing it together, and I'm supposed to have it out today. So, but you guys know, you do daily. You know.
Mm-hmm.
Well, thank you so much for taking time out of your busy uploading schedule to chat with us. We are so excited to have you as our YouTuber of the week this week.
I'm excited to be here. This is very cool.
And like we said in previous vlogs, it's not that, you know, oh, it's now your turn. It's, we've had you on the list. We just had to get to you.
Well, I've seen a lot of them. I've watched a lot of them, and I've seen some very cool people. I think my favorite so far was the lady that did her nails, and she had the really cool house.
Steffi.
You know what I'm talking?
Steffi
I can't think of her name off the top of my head, but that was probably my favorite so far.
Yeah.
And she didn't want to even do it because she, on her videos, she only does the nails and she does a voiceover. So she's never shown her face on her channel.
Yeah. Our channel was the first one, so that was kind of like, wow, that's pretty cool.
So I said, we're not scary. I promise. I said, you know, like we talk on Twitter and Facebook, like through social media, but she's never like shown her face. And, you know, she was a little bit nervous, but I was like, Steph, you got it. Like, we're fine. We're not going to like bite you. We're not going to like, you know, ask you like really incriminating questions. It's just a chance to spotlight you and your channel and just have fun.
Like Shut Up Anthony, we asked them some crazy questions. I think like that really, people are like, oh my God, I'm going to be on that and they're going to ask me crazy questions. I don't want crazy questions like that.
No. So would you like to introduce you, your channel, tell us what it's about and who are you and all that
We
good
already
stuff.
know, but.
And we're daily vloggers. So, and for the most part, we do vlogs, but every now and then, like right now, we're doing Ytotw, which isn't, it's still a vlog, but it's just kind of a different type of vlog. It's more, we made a point to go to these places and to get in touch with people, and they invited us to come out. So it's a little bit different in that way. We're doing a lot of interviews, but it's actually been really fun to do that, you know, like it's a little different, but I'm ready to go back to, once this is over, just our daily vlogs for a while because it's been a more intense schedule.
Yeah.
You know, I'm like, I put the videos together and stuff like that, and then I put them out each day, but I have like this schedule and routine. And so this is really not, and I'm very much a routine person. So this is not my routine, just out the door. And I've really had to balance a lot. So, but it's been so fun. And I am Christy Riverton. I am a writer and mom of 7. So that's a little bit about me. And I homeschool 6 out of 7 of our kids. So
that's awesome. We have 3, and we don't know how we're doing with 3. 7 is amazing.
Very amazing. That's a skill set in itself already.
I think once you have like 5, you're like, why not? We'll do another one. Why not? You know.
We're done at 3, and then 4 came along, and 5, and 6, and then 7. So here we are.
So you just have a lot less leftovers then, right?
We do.
Right.
Okay, so I had started with a YouTube, or not a YouTube video, a Facebook video. And I took a video of my son, our youngest, Aspen. He does the hi-yo in the beginning and the bye-bye at the end. So he was that age when we started the channel.
Wow.
And I walked into the kitchen one day, and I was folding a load of laundry. And he was really quiet. And so when he gets quiet, because he's not a quiet child. So when he gets quiet, I'm like, what's going on? What's going on? So I walk in the kitchen. I had just made him lunch, and I had left the Miracle Whip sitting on the counter with the butter knife in it. And he had climbed up onto one of the drawers and pulled it off and was out in the kitchen eating it out of the container. Had this Miracle Whip on his hands and on his feet and his face, and his dad was working, so I wanted to send a video to him, and I couldn't get through to his phone, so I put it on Facebook, and he had this, he was like, you know, Lord of the Rings, Gollum with the ring, and like it was his precious, and he did not want to let go of this Miracle Whip, and every time I tried to take it away, he was like, no, you know, and he's like holding it to him, and I put it on Facebook. And I was like, I'd really like to be able to just compile these great moments somewhere. And so that's what started it, was Aspen being a stink pot started the channel.
Yeah,
So it's all his fault. All the filming and all the editing, it's all his fault.
We were actually going to call the channel The World According to Poot, because that's his nickname in the beginning. But then we're like, well, it's going to be about the whole family. So that's where Love Jar Vlogs came from.
Love it.
That's awesome.
Yeah, because I recently posted on Time Hop or on this day on Facebook. It pops up any of old memories that happened on this day. Well, there was one that I posted. It was from 4 years ago? 5 years ago. How old was he? I think like 4 or 5 years ago.
5 years ago, I believe.
And it was Brayden. And he had chocolate syrup. You should see it. Check out my Facebook. You'll see it. I was either working in my office or I was in the bathroom. Short period of time. And I think he wanted chocolate milk. And so I was like, okay, he's being way too quiet. He's like 2 at this point. Too quiet. And he's not quiet, as you know. And I'm like, So I had my phone in my office, and I walk out. And I'm like, you know what? I have to walk back in my office, get my camera, because no one is going to believe me. He had chocolate syrup on the couch, on the chair. He had a pickup truck, like a toy truck, filled the back of it. He had it, you know, on the coffee table. He had an open gallon of milk opened, and he had chocolate syrup all over him. Tried to like make chocolate syrup himself because he wanted chocolate milk. I guess I wasn't too fast for him.
He put some in the milk container and then on the table, and then he started like drawing on it and like smacking his face with it, and it was like all over the place.
He couldn't really talk at that point, so he must have been like,
he kept saying
and then dropped it, and I'm like, oh
God, Brayden.
Craziness. Kids drive us crazy.
Yeah, we caught, because you know, when you do it daily, you catch like
Everything.
He got a hold of, he had a really bad diaper rash. And so my neighbor had brought me over this cream, and she's like, try this will work for him. And so I put it on his bottom, and I didn't think anything of it. It was twist top jar. And it was like a petroleum base. And I have not a suede couch, but it's like that suede material by the handful, right all over the couch. And you can't get that stuff out of material. I had to scrape it with a butter knife. Yeah. I checked Google, I'm looking on YouTube, I'm trying to find any way.
Nothing.
And so there's still, most of it came out, because you can dry it up a little bit and really scrape it, but there's still like this faint white residue from where it was at.
Yeah, we had to get a whole new couch.
Yes, we did.
Because we're like,
yeah, the chocolate did not come out.
It did not come out.
No.
I'm like, you're lucky we love you.
You're
lucky. You're lucky. So with daily vlogging, it's very tough. I mean, I do twice a week, and John does maybe like
3 or 4
times a week. I know that like sometimes when he's off, he'll do like daily vlogs, but it's a lot of work. So for newer YouTubers who are coming out, what advice do you have for them about daily vlogging, once a week vlogging?
My advice for that would be start comfortable in the beginning so that you can be consistent. So just start once a week. Post that, you know, look in the week for that video that you just love, you know, and then work your way up. But stay consistent. If you say, hey, I'm going to post it as a bonus video, if you want to put 2 out and be like, hey guys, just want to pop in and give you a bonus video or whatever, you know, but always post. Whatever day you say you're going to post, stick to it. If it's Sunday, if it's Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, I don't necessarily say a time, because if you eventually move into daily vlogging, you don't want to necessarily set yourself for a time, because I think that can take away from the time you can put into the editing. And I think that can take away from how much you love doing it when you're putting yourself under that much pressure.
Yeah.
But when you know, okay, I just need to make sure this video is out today for everybody. If life happens, you have to do what you have to do.
True.
You know, and so it gives you that leeway. I don't say I'm going to put my videos out at 4 o'clock every day. I try to get them out at 7 o'clock in the morning. I'm lucky if that happens, but I try. So I would say stay consistent with what's comfortable for you. Start at a day a week and work your way up from there. Then, you know, once you've got a day a week under your belt, move to 2 days a week, 3, 4, till you build into, and see if you actually want to daily vlog. Because I think if you start daily vlogging and tell people you're going to daily vlog and then don't anymore, the people that are watching you, they're going to miss that.
Yeah.
Like I have a YouTuber that I watch, and they put out 6 videos a week, so they put out 20. But when they stop doing that 7 days a week, I miss them on the day they're gone. I'm like, oh, they're not on today. Why are they on today? You know? So, and I mean, you can do that. Eventually, you know, if 7 days a week, a lot of people do that. You can do that. So I'm not saying that you can't, but at the same time, just know that your audience gets used to it, and they're going to miss you.
Yeah.
I mean, if they follow you, there's a reason. They're connected to you in some way. So that would be my biggest advice. Just stay consistent and do what you really can do.
That's great advice. I was doing 7 days a week, weekly vlogs before, and what I found is, like, first I tried to do like day of vlogs. I tried to, like, this was our day, and then that night I posted it, so you got to see everything we did all day long. And I was like, this is great, you know, it worked for a week or two. And then they got to the point that it's like, upload speeds are bad, it takes forever to edit, or we did something really fun, don't I want to split this into 2 separate videos? And then I came to the realization that it seems like when you post videos every single day, a lot of the people that watch your videos every day, some of them miss videos every day, and then your views will start going down because the day before they missed that one because your new one is already uploaded. So now they're watching the new one and they didn't watch the old ones, and then it's like, it's snowball effect. So you're like editing all kinds of videos and you're losing views at the same time because you know, they missed the ones before and now they just want to like skip ahead to the new ones. That's what I found.
Well, and also with your schedule, you were working overnight, so you had to sleep at a certain time in order, you know.
That makes it harder.
So then, if you're home, or if you don't have kids, or if YouTube is your life, like your job, it's easier to, you know, set those times or do the daily vlogs and, you know, set them up at a certain time.
I wouldn't even put easy in that category because vlogging, period, is not easy. Daily videos are not easy. None of it is really easy at all. YouTube itself is like, it's a lifestyle. It's not even like a, you know, at first I was like, ah, yeah, it'll be a fun little thing to do. It's more than that now. It's way more than that.
Yeah, and I think going along with the consistency, maybe that would be a second piece of advice that I would give. Even though you're a daily vlogger, you don't necessarily have to limit yourself to doing that. You can put out those daily vlogs and say you're a daily vlogger, but everything you're doing, you're sharing a piece of your life. That's the way I look at it. You're sharing a piece of your story, because I'm a writer, and for me, that's the big thing. I want to share a piece of my story with people. So I think even if you do that, I'm so sorry. What happened? Okay. And that's the fun of vlogging. You can always catch those moments where the unexpected things happen. That's what I love about daily vlogging. But I don't think that you have to limit yourself either. There's some days where we did a huge event and I was super tired. And so I thought to myself, we're doing Scaretober. And so that really, like I said, it was different for me because it was a different type of schedule. And I really wanted the video that I put out for going to Statesville prison, haunted prison, that one, I put a lot of special editing into. I'm filming on one camera, so the sequential pieces are different. I had to look at each piece of video and figure out where in the time frame they went and what to cut together and give. That was more like putting a movie together for me. And I had a blast doing it, but it literally took me 6 hours to edit that video.
Yeah, it sucks.
And so the next day, and I didn't get much filming done that day, and I'm like, okay, well, we're in Scaretober, so why not? The kids wanted something sweet to eat, so I made homemade caramel apples. And I'm like, you know what? Instead of a vlog, I'm going to share something. I'm going to share a recipe that I make with everybody, but we're still putting out that daily video. So I think sometimes you have to get a little creative when you know that you can't do it that day to still meet that requirement. So it might be if you're a mom, you know, or even a dad, share something that makes your life a little bit easier with people around you. And so sometimes it's just a cleaning routine. I'm surprised, like when I watch other people, I get so many ideas from them. Homeschooling parents, like scheduling ideas. I struggle homeschooling 7 children. Well, 6 children, sorry. I always say 7 because we have 7, but 6 children. I struggle with that scheduling wise because they're all in different grades. So, you know, I've got a preschooler, I've got 2 in grade school, but they're in separate grades, so they can't do everything together. I've got 1 in middle school, and I've got 2 in high school, but they're also at different levels, and one's taking Japanese, one's taking psychology, and, you know, so I watch other parents, and I found a channel. She has 8 children, and she homeschools all of them. I'm like, you know, and her house is beautiful when I'm watching her videos, and I'm like, all right, she's got to know something. Maybe she's got a tip in there for me. I love that about YouTube. You can meet and find people that can help enrich your life. So that's my advice. If you're doing something like daily vlogging, even if you can't get the vlog, maybe give something out that can enrich somebody else's life. And caramel apples are delicious, so why not?
So, a little side note. I don't know if you know this, but you were the first one to ever give my channel a shout out. It was almost a year ago.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh wow.
Yeah, because I remember watching your video, and I remember I was just watching it, and you were like, "Oh yeah, you know, John Haggerty vlogs. I watched this video, and you know, he was real inspirational in what he said." I'm like, I sent it to Steph right away. I'm like, "How cool is this? This is super cool."
Yeah, because I know you've been supporting John's channel for a long time, and we really appreciate it. And we love all the comments. We love all the people that we meet through YouTube. It's amazing because we wouldn't have done it if, you know, we weren't in YouTube. Like if we were just watching it, not, you know, being vloggers or, you know, content creators ourselves, we probably wouldn't have that relationship. And with being in it and talking to other people, it's amazing.
It's completely different than, like, a lot of people just watch YouTube. Once you start creating and you build a family on YouTube, it's like kind of like Facebook. You know how you find friends, and your friends, you guys like each other's stuff. YouTube's kind of like that.
I agree, absolutely. When I first started my Facebook, I met a lot of writers through there because I'm a writer. Eventually I started meeting a lot of YouTubers through there because then I started YouTube. But, you know, I've been asked several times, you know, if there were writers that you could meet, who would you meet? Those are the writers I want to meet. The writers that I talk to and that support every single day. The ones that, when I'm not feeling the writing vibe, but I have a book I need to get in and I need to get it to my publisher, and they're like, come on, you can do this. And I actually have a group that I'm in called Night Writers, and it's specifically for writers. And I had joined a lot of writing groups, and it was a lot of buy my book, buy my book, buy my book.
Sure.
But there was support to fellow writers. And one day I had another writer say, hey, come over here, check this out, see if you like it. And it is absolutely no buy my book, none of that in there. It's simply writers helping other writers write.
That's awesome.
I love that support.
I have found some of the greatest friends in there, and people that, you know, you remember each other's birthdays, and, you know, when stuff happens in their lives, you're like, you know, you're crying when they lose somebody in their family.
Sure.
And I think YouTube's the same way.
It is.
When somebody loses somebody, and I know that you recently had that going on in your family, and so
yeah, it sucked. But all the support from everybody, it made it, not that it's easy to deal with, but it made it a lot easier, you know, all together with all the support.
Yeah.
But we were glad that we were able to capture memories with his father.
Yeah, because what's funny is at first he didn't want to be in the vlogs at all. He was like, really, get the camera away from me. I'm like, no, you're standing in my house. It is what it is. So I put my foot down about it because that's how he was. He was always like, well, yeah. My dad was like, well, you know, if he was watching TV and you wanted to watch something, well, as soon as you paid a cable bill, you could put on whatever you want. That's the kind of guy he was. So I had to, you know, break his stones about it. Like, all right, fine. You're in my house. I vlog. You're going to have to deal with it. You're either going to be in the background or you're going to be part of it. And he decided he wanted to be part of it. So, like 2 months into vlogging, he came up here last year. And he came up here and he was like, he didn't really like trust it. You know, he was like, oh, you know, this YouTube thing, you're putting out too much information. And we were driving around together, and we met up with one of my friends, Lance Stewart, and my dad was like, oh, that's what this kid does? And I was like, yeah, you know, that's what this kid does. And then from that point on, my dad was like, oh, well, you know, I want to be part of this. I mean, this is really interesting to me now. So, you know, in my older vlogs, you'll see for like 2 months. So what, probably 10 or 12 or 14 episodes, he was a big part of it. So I got to use some of that footage and everything. And it, like Steph was saying, it helps because, you know, when you lose a parent, you kind of forget the sound of their voice and you kind of forget their mannerisms and you kind of forget that kind of part. But with videos, you don't. Yeah. It's always there.
And that's why we like doing YouTube and your vlogs as well, is that you think that your life is boring or like no one's going to watch me or like we have so much going on. If the kids are going to listen, what are they going to say? Because you know, kids say the darndest things and we have to be very careful of what we say. But just going back and seeing the videos that, you know, 2 months ago or, you know, last week, it's like, wow, like that's pretty amazing that like I could capture that. make that into a video and post it, and then I can always look back and see the fun times that we've had. Because a lot of times it's like when you're in it and actually doing it, like it goes by so fast and that you forget. Even though you recorded it, you look back at it while doing editing, and actually the video itself, it's like, oh yeah. You know, you got to take a step back and actually see what you missed in life.
And that's why we call the channel Love Jar, because when you're raising a family, it's tough. Mm-hmm. There are rough days. There are days where you're like, why am I doing this? Mm-hmm. You know, or am I failing horribly? And I think, you know, I always say to people, the best parents are the parents that think they're doing everything wrong, because you know you care. Mm-hmm. You know you care if you're worrying that you're not doing it right. And so you have those moments and you really feel like some days I'm blowing it. I'm not doing anything right. And when I make those daily videos, I'm able to look back and I'm like, you know, life is really chaotic, but at the same time, it's a really good life.
Yeah.
It's perfect. It never will be. It's not picture perfect, but it has picture perfect moments.
True.
And so filling up our love jar, we're putting those memories in, and you know, they come up. We were talking about time hop. They come up on those Facebook memories, mm-hmm. and you're like, really? Did that happen a year ago? Yeah. That was already a year, you know? And now it's going to start reaching 2 years, and mm-hmm. It's hard to believe. It's hard to believe Aspen, our youngest, has spent almost his entire life doing YouTube with us.
And that's pretty awesome.
That's awesome.
I'm vlogging, Mom. Can I vlog? You know, and I'm like, not today, you can't vlog. Put the camera down, don't break it, son.
That's so
now,
funny.
what do you use to record and to edit?
I actually believe it or not, for the longest time, up until recently, I used YouTube Creator Studio. That's what I used mm-hmm. to edit the vlogs. It was free.
Sure.
I knew it. And I tell you what, I did not want to have to learn how to use something else, but I also wanted to be able to, you know how you can put the music in the background and do those cool music montages, and then you can hear the voiceover mm-hmm. and look back into the music. I didn't have the ability to do it the right way, like the music would be too loud. And so I knew if I wanted to do what I wanted to be able to do with the videos, I had to learn a new type of editing software. So my husband gave me his old iPhone, but it has 132 gigs of storage in it.
Nice.
So when you're using iMovie, that's perfect. That's what you need. Mm-hmm. You need that storage space.
Yep.
So, or 128. It's 128 or 132, somewhere around there. But that's what I use. I use iMovie to edit now. I do use every once in a while if I have, because I use several things to do my videos. So I film on an iPhone to do time lapses. And the reason I do is it is the easiest way to film a time lapse. Mm-hmm. You don't have to wait for processing and anything like that. You can just zip it right in there. Mm-hmm. I've tried other things to do time lapse on, and sometimes they're not compatible. And then other times they look choppy, so they don't come out right. I like that smooth thing that iMovie or iTunes. The iPhone does. I don't know what it's called. So I use that, and then I use to film. We use, like I said, the iPhone for time lapse. When I'm trying to get more of like a stabilized, wider view, I now use the GoPro. Mm-hmm. I don't use it very often, but I use it just for certain shots. And we did take it with us last night to Malvern Manor to leave it in hallways and see what happened. Nice. I don't know. I haven't looked at any of that footage yet, so I don't even know what's on there.
We can't.
That'll be interesting.
And then I use the Sony camera. Can you see it?
Nice. Yep.
Nice.
So, Sony. I don't know what it's called.
I think that looks like a Sony A7 is what it looks like.
It's a really basic Sony. It's like the most basic model mm-hmm. that you can get the flip-up screen with. Mm-hmm. And I love this. Like, my husband keeps trying to convince me to get a bigger camera, and I'm like, no. I like how it focuses. I like the lighting on it. No, I like it. Yeah. It has great low light because we have an old house. Uh-huh. So I used to film everything on the iPhone. Just a recent addition. It's called the Brexit. It's a night vision camcorder.
Nice.
And we actually, I don't like to spend a lot of money on equipment because, especially, you know, if you're starting out on YouTube, you can film on an iPhone. You can film on a phone, period. Anything. Just pick it up and record your life. And people say that, you know, all the time. That's the advice you always hear. But it's true. I mean, really, that's what I started out on. And earlier, when you were telling me to flip my phone, I didn't know how to do that in the beginning, so all my beginning videos, and I left them off.
Had the bars.
That's mine does too.
Yeah.
Because I didn't know that there was. Yeah, I didn't know. Yeah, I didn't know that there was a difference. I'm like, okay, I can see myself in a full screen.
Yeah.
That's fine. And then people are like, oh, you should turn it sideways so you don't get the black bars. And I'm like, this is kind of awkward now because
weird,
now I'm not like, no, the whole like, I'm in the whole screen, but I don't have like, I have to extend my arm a little bit more. But I love doing it, and I use my iPhone. John uses his camera, and it's just whatever suits you and captures those memories. Yeah,
I use my iPhone, like you said, for all B-roll purposes. I use it for the same thing. Like, I have one of the mounts in my car that goes on the windshield, and then I put my iPhone on that and turn it sideways so you can get like the whole wide angle view of outside the windshield. And if you put it up high enough, you can actually get like the really good like driving kind of B-roll. And
montages and
yeah,
stuff.
exactly.
Yeah.
And it's all hands-free, so it works. And it's legal. Yeah.
So we want to thank you so very much. Like, so very much. For being what?
The YouTuber of the week.
On what channel?
Yours.
On whose channel? Not on my channel, on Daddy's
You want to
channel.
put it on your channel?
Yes.
Brady has a channel too. So thank you so much for being YouTuber of the Week on John Haggerty Vlogs. We thank you for your constant support and your and for like your daily videos and inspiring other people and just being amazing.
Well, thanks for having me, you guys. I really appreciate it. This has been really cool.
Yeah, we try not to scare people. So what advice do you have for people who want to be YouTubers of the Week who think that it's scary?
Yeah, it's like talking to your friends on the phone. You just do it through video.
Right. Yeah, it's not scary.
Yeah, because it's
doing YouTube, you're doing video anyway, so
Yeah.
That's right.
Afraid it's fun.
Carousel, carousel.